Headlines of VTV News. Vietnam aims to complete NINH nuclear power plant by 2030. Vietnam enhances technological value of export products. And later on in our world news, China counters with tariffs on U.S. products.
Broadcasting from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam. VTV News starts right now.
Hello and welcome to VTV News. Now, here's the top news of the hour. On Tuesday morning, Party General Secretary Tô Lâm presided over the Secretariat meeting to direct key tasks for party agencies. He urged all units and localities to resume work immediately after the Lunar New Year holiday, warning against prolonged festive mindsets or neglect of duties. He emphasized the importance of summarizing Resolution 18 on restructuring the political system's organizational apparatus. He also called for resolving bottlenecks in science and technology while implementing vigorous measures to achieve a GDP growth target of at least 8% in 2025, laying the foundation for double-digit growth in the following years. At the same time, he stressed the importance of effectively organizing party congresses at all levels in preparation for the 14th National Party Congress. At the second meeting of the steering committee overseeing the construction of the NINH nuclear power plant, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính, who also chairs the committee, emphasized that this is a crucial project, both challenging and sensitive. Therefore, it demands focused attention, effort, and expertise, and full mobilization of the entire political system.
After the meeting, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính directed ministries, agencies, and localities to continue urgently working on the project, including developing a 5-year and annual plan with defined milestones. He called for expanding the steering committee and creating a specialized support team led by a deputy minister of industry and trade. The Ministry of Science and Technology will finalize the amended atomic energy law with proposals for mechanisms and policies due by February 15th for government and National Assembly review. The Electricity Group and Petro-Vietnam were confirmed as investors for the two plants, and negotiations with foreign partners will begin this month. The Prime Minister stressed the importance of technology transfer, human resource training, and speeding up the project's progress.
The target has been shortened compared to the previous plan, meaning if we start in 2025, it will be completed by 2031. However, we aim to finish by the end of 2030, within 6 years. Ministries and agencies will develop a specific progress plan and implementation roadmap to ensure we stay on track and can review progress. This approach mirrors the recent execution of large projects, such as the 500 kV power lines, where strict adherence to the roadmap, close monitoring of targets, and full political system involvement were key to success.
The Prime Minister stressed the importance of transparency and anti-corruption in contractor selection, with no collusion in bidding. THUAN province was directed to begin site clearance, resettlement, and livelihood stabilization, ensuring better housing for locals. The Ministry of Finance must provide funding, and the province should attract investment for Thanh Son Airport. The Ministry of Industry and Trade will submit the revised Power Plan 8 with nuclear power provisions in February. The Prime Minister emphasized balancing national and regional needs, prioritizing energy projects in challenging areas.
National Assembly Chairman Trần Thanh Mẫn held a working session in Hanoi on Tuesday with a delegation from the Ministry of Public Security led by Minister General Lương Tam Quang. During the meeting, the chairman praised the police force contributions to the country's achievements in 2024, particularly highlighting the adoption of crucial ministry-drafted laws, such as the law on road traffic order and safety, the data law, and the anti-human trafficking law. As 2025 marks the 80th founding anniversary of the People's Public Security Force, the National Assembly chairman expressed hope that the ministry would continue fulfilling its entrusted missions and contributing to Parliament's lawmaking work, oversight, and national development and protection. National Assembly Chair Trần Thanh Mẫn attended an arts event entitled 95 Years Light Guides Us the Way at August the 19th Square in Hanoi on February the 3rd. The event is an opportunity for all Vietnamese to review the glorious histories of the party and the nation and remember the great contributions of President Ho Chi Minh and the sacrifices of heroic martyrs and wounded soldiers for national independence, freedom, and people's happiness. It also reviews the country's socio-economic, cultural, and educational achievements. It encourages the Vietnamese to continue writing the heroic pages of the nation's history and propel further development. Mastering science and technology with a strong emphasis on innovation is crucial for Vietnamese products to thrive in the global market. In 2024, the value of Vietnam's imports and exports hit a record high of nearly $800 billion. The country has successfully entered some of the world's most competitive markets. Both technological products and traditional goods such as construction materials are experiencing a boost in their underlying value.
This is the first Vietnamese company to produce high-end tiles since 1994, ending reliance on imported goods. After over 30 years, the company has harnessed the world's most advanced technology to produce tiling materials and now exports to over 40 countries and territories. Its products have also been selected for a water cooling tower for the U.S. Capitol's air conditioning system.
Over 30 years, we have sent our staff abroad to study with each new technology, blending their experiences with Vietnamese creativity.
So we had to look elsewhere, and so far Viglacera is the only company that has been able to produce this in the high quality.
Vietnamese digital technology products are also making their mark in the global market. In Japan, for example, many supermarkets, hotels, and restaurants are using software developed by Vietnamese professionals.
Previously, when exporting software to Japan, most Vietnamese enterprises mainly stopped at the low-value stage, also known as software outsourcing.
Vietnamese high-tech exports are making their mark globally. They are being well received, demonstrating Vietnam's potential to thrive.
While most people have resumed their daily lives after the Lunar New Year holiday, many construction workers, especially those involved in key transportation projects, continued working without a break. Accelerating major infrastructure work is crucial for reaching this year's 8% economic growth target. For this reason, many construction units worked through Tết, striving to speed up progress while ensuring the quality of the projects.
Although more than 50% of this component project has been completed, the construction unit resumed work on the very first day of the Lunar New Year to ensure early completion.
The main construction items have now progressed to the asphalt paving stage. After the holiday, all resources will be mobilized to ensure that construction resumes immediately. This may involve increasing shifts and extending working hours to accelerate the progress.
As for the key transportation projects in Ho Chi Minh City, on the first day of the Lunar New Year, 7 construction teams were deployed, operating 24/7 to accelerate project progress.
The construction units had pre-arranged plans to stockpile materials, ensuring uninterrupted progress on the project during the Lunar New Year.
For major projects such as Ring Road 3 and the An Phu interchange, the holiday period was an opportunity to accelerate construction and stay on schedule.
This Package 1 construction site is currently the most critical point of the Ring Road 3 project. we have deployed 7 construction teams to ensure progress.
As the new roads take shape, the workers' dedication and efforts are paying off. Though they spend the Lunar New Year holiday away from their families, they know their sacrifice today will create easier and more efficient travel for millions across the country.
Many banks have raised their deposit interest rates immediately after the Lunar New Year, with higher rates offered for long-term deposits. Currently, many banks offer interest rates between 6 and 6.8% per year for long-term deposits without requiring a minimum deposit amount. Banks offering interest rates from 7% to over 8% per year require specific conditions, including deposit terms longer than 1 year and large deposit amounts. Besides higher interest rates, many banks are also launching promotional programs and offering gifts to attract deposits after debt. Coming up next, Mekong Delta localities actively respond to saltwater intrusion. And fishermen maintain fishing grounds for the new season. Welcome back to VTV News. In the next 2 months, the Mekong Delta is expected to experience 4 unusually high saltwater intrusion events. The saline intrusion will coincide with high tides, but is unlikely to last as long as historical saltwater intrusions in previous years. The peak salinity period is forecast to occur in the second half of March. However, saline intrusion can fluctuate unpredictably due to its great dependence on water from the upper Mekong River. Localities have been warned to be on guard against sudden increases in salinity. Many irrigation projects are undertaken in the Mekong Delta provinces to prevent saltwater intrusion and store fresh water. In addition, local farmers have also adopted adaptive measures.
The Nguyen Tấn Thành Sluice Gate, Tiền Giang Province, is the second largest anti-salinity structure in the Mekong Delta, and when a saltwater intrusion occurs, the gate is closed to protect crops and ensure domestic water supplies for residents in Tiền Giang and Long An provinces.
After completion, this sluice gate, combined with 6 other gates on Provincial Road 864, will form a closed project area, ensuring saltwater prevention, freshwater storage, and supply of farmland across 130 hectares of the 2 provinces.
The commune's residents are very excited. The annual saltwater intrusion will have less impact, and the local socio-economic situation will continue to improve.
In Bến Tre Province, saltwater of 10 grams per liter have been recorded at the Giao Hòa estuary this dry season. Salinity has also penetrated inland, with recorded levels exceeding 2 parts per thousand. With 5,000 square meters dedicated to ornamental flower growing, Viet's family has proactively dug ponds to store fresh water to ensure production.
This dry season, our stored water is sufficient for both daily use and production for about 1 to 1.5 months.
According to the National Center for Hydrometeorological Forecasting, periods of heightened saltwater intrusion in the Mekong River's estuaries will peak in February and March this year. However, local irrigation projects are expected to help the Mekong Delta residents cope effectively with deep saltwater intrusion.
This morning, the Ministry of Natural Resources and Environment coordinated with the People's Committee of Tai Binh Province to organize the Tree Planting Festival to remember President Ho Chi Minh and mark World Wetlands Day at Tai Thuy Wetland Nature Reserve. Tree planting, forest protection, and development are becoming increasingly important in dealing with environmental pollution and climate change, which are global challenges. Tree planting plays a role in restoring ecosystems. It contributes to limiting greenhouse gas emissions, preventing natural disasters, and creating livelihoods for coastal communities. Tuna remains the largest contributor to Vietnam's seafood exports, with ocean tuna expected to reach nearly $1 billion in 2024. After celebrating the Lunar New Year at sea, tuna fishermen from the South Central region have returned to port. They are now ready for the new fishing season and strongly committed to complying with legal regulations, including those tackling IUU, illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing.
After over 40 days at sea and celebrating Tet on board, fishing boat Phie 90945 docked at Dong Tak Fishing Port in Tuy Hoa City. The boat brought in 80 ocean tuna. The owner will receive nearly $12,000 when the catch is sold. The high yield has the boat owner and crew excitedly preparing for their next trip, which many fishermen refer to as the first open catch of the year.
The boat earned around 12,000 USD. After deducting expenses of around 6,000 USD, everyone on board will share a profit of more than 400 USD each.
Starting from the fourth day of the lunar year, Phú Yên ocean tuna boats have been returning to port with an average catch of over 2 tons per boat. The heavy catches from boats at sea during Tet motivated over 600 tuna fishing boats in Phú Yên to prepare for the 2025 season.
We present logs, use monitoring equipment during fishing, and operate within Vietnamese waters.
I keep a log of the sea areas I work in according to my schedule. As for violations, Phú Yên fishermen strictly adhere to regulations.
Phú Yên fishing fleet is expected to harvest over 3,500 tons of ocean tuna, with fishing boats pledging to comply with legal regulations and provincial management agencies supporting the electronic traceability of aquatic products. These efforts will encourage fishing crews to confidently continue their work on their offshore fishing grounds.
Shortly after the third day of the Lunar New Year, coastal provinces in the South Central region organized numerous lively activities. A highlight was the traditional Dragon Boat Race Festival on the Da Rang River in Tuy Hoa City, Phú Yên Province. Now in its 9th year, the boat race continues to attract athletes of all ages. 24 teams of men and women competed, with men racing 2.5 kilometers and women racing 1.5 kilometers. The coastal districts, towns, and cities in Phú Yên also hosted other activities such as Koreko boat races and net weaving contests. These events both preserve cultural heritage and showcase the unique culture of coastal residents. Numerous Dalai Province settlement projects support ethnic groups in stabilizing their lives and enhancing their economies. In Phu Thien District, these initiatives provide housing, improve infrastructure, assist with crop and livestock conversion, and offer vocational training to promote sustainable livelihoods.
After years of living in fear of flooding during the rainy season, Louis' family and 37 other households have been relocated to new, spacious homes.
Moving here is comfortable. There are wide roads, a clean house, stable housing, jobs for both of us, and the children now attend school nearby, which is very convenient.
Everything is available here: electricity, water, and more. Our Tet celebration was much more enjoyable.
To achieve this, Phu Thien District mobilized resources and public support. Over 1.2 million USD was spent last year to create 2 resettlement projects, one in Sui Can, Ia Sol Commune, and another in Kin Peng Village, Chua Thai Commune.
In 2024, the Provincial Party Committee, People's Council, and People's Committee successfully relocated ethnic groups supporting the policy. All children in the new area attended school regularly.
From 2019 to 2024, GLI completed 11 resettlement projects for over 1,000 households. Between 2026 and 2030, 16 new projects are planned with an investment of over 17.8 million USD, targeting 50% of landless households.
Purple garlic from Dalat City is renowned for its robust, peppery flavor and is highly sought after by garlic enthusiasts. In response to its popularity, local farmers have developed various methods to protect and expand purple garlic cultivation while moving away from greenhouse farming.
Unlike white garlic, purple garlic has a deep purple color on its outer skin with a distinctive fragrant and stimulating taste. Local farmer Theo has dedicated himself to preserving this garlic variety.
Initially, the garlic wasn't this deep purple color. We chose high-quality garlic seeds that would adapt well to Dalat soil. Thanks to effective farming methods and favorable conditions, the garlic gradually turned purple. This variety thrives here and doesn't grow well elsewhere.
He harvests nearly 2 tons of purple garlic annually. His crop consistently sells out, with traders willing to pay premium prices of nearly $4 per kilogram, significantly higher than other garlic varieties. The local Farmers Association has fostered collaboration among West 7's purple garlic farmers.
Purple garlic is a valuable local product. That's why we established an association devoted to purple garlic production as we aim to preserve and promote this garlic variety.
Purple garlic requires well-drained soil and full sun exposure. Expanding its cultivation area will help reduce greenhouse farming in the city center. He dismantled his greenhouse 2 years ago to grow purple garlic.
If purple garlic is promoted in the domestic market, its value will increase.
Given purple garlic's profitability, Lamdong authorities have provided support to help local farmers preserve this variety. The cultivation of purple garlic also aligns with local authorities' plans to develop medicinal herbs in the region.
With a rate of 98% compared to the pre-COVID-19 pandemic period, Vietnam has the fastest tourism recovery rate in Southeast Asia, higher than other popular tourism countries such as Thailand, Singapore, and Indonesia. Last year, Vietnam welcomed 17.6 million international visitors. The recovery rates of other countries in the region such as Thailand sitting on 88%, Singapore 86%, and Philippines 72%. When calculating the number of international visitors in 2024, Vietnam is only behind Thailand and Malaysia. This year, the Vietnamese tourism industry aims to welcome 20 to 23 million international visitors. This is an ambitious target, but it demonstrates the determination to make tourism a spearhead of the country's economic sector. Coming up next in our world news, China counters with tariffs on U.S. products. And cars of the future powered by sewage. Beijing announced a broad package of economic measures targeting the United States on Tuesday, hitting back after U.S. President Donald Trump imposed 10% tariffs on Chinese imports. China's State Council Tariff Commission stated that China will impose 15% tariffs on coal and liquefied natural gas and 10% on crude oil, agricultural equipment, and some cars imported from the U.S. effective February the 10th. Additionally, China is launching antitrust investigations into Alphabet company, the parent company of Google, PVH the parent company of brands like Calvin Klein, and U.S. biotechnology firm Illumina, all of which are on the list of unreliable entities. China's Ministry of Commerce and General Administration of Customs also announced export controls on tungsten, tellurium, ruthenium, mobilidium, and related items to safeguard national security interests. On Monday, United Nations member states formally launched negotiations on a global tax treaty to tackle tax evasion by wealthy individuals and corporations. The negotiating committee, which seeks to create a fairer tax system for all countries, is expected to continue until 2027. Speaking at the first session, the chair of the UN negotiating committee condemned the billions of dollars lost each year due to illicit profits shifting, unfair tax competition, and illicit money flows that could otherwise support global development goals. In response to unusually high domestic rice prices, the Philippines Department of Agriculture has declared a food security emergency to control rice prices and ensure supplies to the public. This decision allows the National Food Authority to release rice reserves to ease price pressures and ensure consumers have access to this essential food source. The emergency will remain in place until rice prices are controlled, while the Department of Agriculture coordinates with local governments and relevant agencies to distribute rice from the reserves to high-demand areas. Last year, the Philippines imported about 4.7 million tons of rice, a 2.2% increase from the previous forecast. Could cars of the future be sewage-powered? That's the hope of a team of engineers at the Warwick Manufacturing Group, or WMG, department of the University of Warwick, who are using sewage to power their new prototype race car.
Engineers at the Warwick Manufacturing Group, WMG, department of the University of Warwick, have developed a hydrogen-powered race car that runs on sewage and is constructed with materials that usually go to waste. The Waste to Race initiative aims to drive sustainability in motor racing while demonstrating some of the possible technologies that could enter the mainstream automotive industry in the future.
We want to try and demonstrate as many sustainable technologies on it as possible, including where we get the hydrogen from. So in this case, we get it from sewage. We have a microbial electrolysis cell, which is actually used for cleaning wastewater, and so when the sewage goes through this process, microbes grown on a carbon fiber substrate will eat the sewage and produce hydrogen during that process.
The Waste to Race prototype race car is built from various spare and unused parts, much of which would have otherwise ended up in a landfill. Some parts have been adapted with sustainable materials, such as recycled carbon fiber and a wing mirror from beetroot waste. The car's steering wheel, developed by the National Composite Center, NCC, is made from 100% bio-based materials, and the battery was recovered from a crashed road car.
All sorts of waste streams can be used to actually generate real value, and if sewage is something you can do this sort of, a beneficial process, which is both cleaning the water and producing some sort of useful byproduct as well, then fantastic.
The Waste to Race car is slated to be completed in 2025 and will be used to attempt to break various land speed records. The project highlights the potential of sustainable energy in the automotive industry and paves the way for creating more eco-friendly vehicles.
And now let's take a look at the weather forecast. And that's it for this edition of VTV News. Thank you very much for watching. To rewatch our program, you can download VTVgo from App Store, Google Play, or tune in our YouTube channel at youtube.com/VTV4Go. Goodbye for now.